All right, so previously on fucking Chucky, that definitely made this episode for me right off the bat. Not that we've seen that has that been said.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in the first episode they wouldn't have said previously on.
Right.
The second episode though, I feel like we did hear previously on Chucky.
Yeah, but I didn't
previously
hear
on fucking Chucky really got me to laugh out loud.
Yes.
All right, so episode 3, I like to be hugged.
Mm-hmm.
First, I would definitely recommend, since it has been kind of on repeat in this house as of late, Ice Nine Kill's new album, especially the track Assault and Batteries, since that applies here, and it was just released on the 15th, I think, right? The 15th?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So any horror fans, and if you are a Chucky fan, I'm assuming you're watching this because of that, you definitely at least need to listen to that song and then take it from there. But yeah, just wanted to mention that because we've been listening to it a lot. Literally, we're listening to it a second before we pressed record on this. Anyway, so, and I wanted to say something else, but I'm blanking on it at the moment. We'll move on from that. So, in this episode, this is really Jake kind of trying to come to grips with whether or not he's a killer. And we learn some backstory of Chucky, or Charles Lee Ray. And for a second, because I wasn't really thinking about it, I was thinking how cool it would have been had the killer that broke into the house transferred his soul into Charles Lee Ray, and we find out that he's been transferring his soul from kid to kid for decades, centuries, whatever. This has been something he's been doing forever, and he always goes after little kids. And then I was like, oh wait, no, he learned how to do this from that voodoo guy in the first movie. So I was like, damn, that wouldn't work. But I thought that would have been really cool.
It would have been.
Had that, not applied, but it is what it is. But it was like the first thing that came to my mind when I saw it. I was like, ooh, wouldn't that be? And I was like, oh wait, no, that wouldn't work.
Never mind.
Oops. Oh well. Damn cannon. Getting in the way. Well, what'd you think of the episode?
It was great. I loved it. I mean, yeah, I want Jake to turn into a killer, so I don't know if he's going to, but I enjoyed this episode and seeing him stalk Lexi.
Yeah.
And kind of play around with his uncle's gardening tools, as he calls them.
Guy's got a weird assortment.
Yeah. But it was cool to see him kind of like, messing around with letting out his anger.
Yeah.
And then he has a doll that he built, or a statue out of dolls, rather, that is Lexi, that he's kind of stabbing in that episode. And,
It's like filled with hot tamales?
Yeah.
Or
he's creative.
Boston baked beans? I don't know what those were.
I feel like they were tamales, hot tamales.
No, they're too big. The little ones.
They
what
were?
are the little like little cinnamon hots? Cinnamon hot things? You know what those candies are?
Yeah, but I don't know the name.
Yeah, I think that's what they were.
Yeah.
Because hot tamales are like
too big
more,
and long.
Yeah.
Like oblong.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever candy's in there. Yeah. I thought Chucky was gonna pick one up and pretend to eat it or something. But...
I did too. When they landed at his feet. I just want to warn you though, if you do curse in this video, I'm gonna have to bleep it out.
Yeah, so that was the one weird part of the episode. Everything else I loved, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it, but the bleeping out of whatever he says to Lexi, whatever Chucky says to Lexi.
What's really funny about that scene is that he says fuck.
Yes.
In that very sentence.
Yeah.
It's not bleeped. And then whatever he says is bleeped. So we can only guess he calls her a cunt, but it's weird to me because... it's so silly to me that cunt is like a bigger offense than fuck. It's just so stupid to me. But regardless, it doesn't really match up with the length of the bleep and how much he's moving his mouth.
No, it doesn't.
So now I do believe we'll probably get to hear the full version once they release this on a Blu-ray or something. But it's irritating. It's like you can... this is one of the things wrong with this world. Is like, you can have somebody fall on a fucking, dishwasher full of knives. You can see a blade go up through their fucking eyeball or like in their, in their skull. But you can't say the word cunt. Like, curse words are worse than, like, graphic displays of murder. Right. Like, come on. What the fuck is wrong with this country sometimes? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it makes no sense, obviously.
Yeah.
But, we were also right in this episode.
Yep, we called it. I mean...
That was good.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, Oliver died.
Oliver died.
We figured he'd be the next one to go.
Yes.
Now... He was not the intended target, and as Chucky said, fuck it.
Yes.
He's already in it.
Spontaneous kill.
These kids were really, really into their raving. Super. They didn't even notice that the entire house caught on fire around them and was literally like exploding the windows, and they were just like...
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like the house lit up really quickly, but I guess fires.
Jesus, did Chucky pour fucking accelerant all over the house?
I don't know.
It like went right down the banister.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. It was fast.
Okay,
it was super fast.
That's
I don't
just
know.
Movie shit.
Yeah. Because I know fires can spread quickly, but...
Sure, but not down an entire banister like that. No way.
No.
It would have to have some kind of an accelerant. It would have to have lighter fluid or anything on it to light that quickly like it did. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Now, okay, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Let's back it up a bit. Jake tried to kill Lexi.
Yeah.
Straight up. Now, when Lexi put her hood up and we couldn't see her face anymore, I immediately knew 100% for sure that the person that Jake was going to be following or going after or whatever was not going to be her. That was too obvious. Her putting her hood up, it covers her face. It covers her identity. So he's chasing somebody. What I thought was going to happen, though, is that he was going to kill someone random. And he was going to regret it immensely. Like, I definitely thought that's the way they were going to go with it. And I liked that. I feel like Junior's reaction is kind of odd to me because it's not intense enough. Like, I feel like he definitely saw the knife.
Yeah.
And if he didn't... Have you ever tried... Okay, this is something that's funny in movies. That movies are not reality, as we all know. And there are always these things in movies we kind of just got to accept as movie things that never actually happen in real life. One of those things is, if you've ever tried to hide anything behind your back in your entire life... Everyone's always like, what are you hiding behind your back?
Right.
You cannot put your arm behind your back like this and not have someone ask you what's behind your back.
What is that? Yeah.
Every single time I've ever put anything behind my back, everyone asks me, well, what's going on back there?
Yeah.
It's weird. Your arm's missing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
You immediately notice, and nobody asks.
And he just ran at him.
Yeah.
And when he turned around, Jake still had that knife out.
100%.
And then he immediately put it behind his back, and he's like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. But then he goes in and defends him a minute later and is like, you need to go to apologize to him. And it's like, he just tried to kill you or potentially your girlfriend, and now you're going to defend him? And he's like coming at it from this moral, like, oh, he's my uncle and that wasn't cool and this and that. He's like, he tried to murder you. Like, it was very obvious that he was trying to murder someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think his reaction was definitely, like, underwhelming for sure and a little off.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I feel like Junior, like, he does see how shitty Lexi is, so I think that in his mind he kind of is trying to understand what Jake's going through and sort of, I don't know. Should he have overlooked the knife? Probably not, but maybe he just didn't see it. Somehow?
You know, I actually... I knew Lexi was going to just continue to suck, right? I mean, she's never going to be cool or likable at all. She's kind of remarkable because she's almost like a Joffrey type character at this point, where every episode now, she's just one-upping herself in like, oh my... You're so awful. It's like... And I mean, kudos to the writing, kudos to the actress. It's just, she is. She's the Joffrey of the show for me. She's just, every word out of her mouth.
It's horrible.
We look at each other. There's a couple things I facepalm. Yeah. Like multiple times throughout the show because of shit that just comes out of her mouth or things that she does. And you're like, oh my God. There are people that are this horrible. They do exist. They're entitled.
And egotistical. And yeah. Yeah, the actress is doing a wonderful job because I absolutely hate her so much. Yeah. And I'm definitely excited for her to die, which we don't actually see at the end of this episode. So we don't really know kind of where she lands.
No, I'm going to guess she's in a coma in the next episode. I don't think she's dead. Which is kind of weird. Like, Chucky would just leave her to burn. Because he says, like, this one's for Jake, you fucking something, cunt. Yeah. Assuming. And then he puts the knife up and he's cackling in the fire and it's a cool shot and all that. But why would he say this one's for Jake, put the knife above his head and then not run forward and stab her to death? Yeah. Right?
That's what I thought he was going to do.
That's what we're led to believe. But why... It wouldn't make any sense if he didn't. I'm fine with it. I'll accept it, but I don't see why he wouldn't.
Right. Well, and if he doesn't, and she survives, and let's say isn't in a coma, nobody will believe her.
I don't see that happening.
Right, but I mean, just like nobody would believe that Chucky actually tried to kill her. But of course, if she brings attention to Jake, that's still like a red flag. I think that this is actually going to set Junior up to be kind of a person of interest. Because Oliver is the person that actually dies, and there's photos of her and... Well, I don't know, I guess assuming that his body or rather his phone survives, because there's pictures of him and Lexi on his phone, but the house is on fire, so I don't know what will be recovered from that. But yeah, I kind of think Junior's going to come under suspicion, so...
I mean, Lexi could just be dead. I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
I would be really shocked if she dies off screen. If that is her death and we don't see it. Because we
might see it at the beginning of the next episode. Yeah. It's possible, but... It's possible. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how I want that to go. I'm however it goes, I'm sure I'll be fine with it, but... I'm sticking with she is in the hospital. But I think what you say makes sense a little bit too, because her parents went to this school meeting. They see what a monster their daughter actually is, that she could, do what she did at the Halloween party. And I could see them being like, Lexi, I don't fucking hear it. Yes. Like you're trying to cover, like you're really trying to blame this on your sister's doll. You burned down her house. Jake, while you were gone. You almost killed your sister. Mm-hmm. We're not listening to a fucking word you say. Yes. Yeah, you're probably right. That's probably the way it's going to go. But I could see, she's in the hospital for a couple episodes. Mm-hmm. Chucky's trying to get in there to kill her. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely some really funny lines. What was the other one? The snug as a bug. Yeah. The snug as a bug, the fucking part was really funny.
It was really cute. Snug as a fucking bug.
Yeah. I thought for sure when he was like stuck, I thought he was like, fuck. Like I can't get out of here tonight. That would have been great if he didn't. I thought for sure he was in prison for the night. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. So funny. Like Chucky's having... performance issues, right. Like he says. Yeah.
Yeah, performance issues. Yeah, that would have been really cute. But I like how it went. I like that he sliced himself out of it.
Sure. It would make sense. He has the knife on him. Mm-hmm. It's just funny to me. Like, how's the knife in the bed?
I don't know. I don't really know how he hides the knife.
Yeah, they tucked him in.
Because everyone's hugging him.
Yeah. And they're like, what's this metal?
Like, are you happy to see me?
Yeah. There's a butcher's knife in your pocket.
Yeah, and I mean, this episode too, we got to see Lexi's sister, who I feel like we should know her name, and I totally don't know her name right now. More of her and her interaction with Chucky, which is
Grace. Is that it? Or am I just fucking?
It might be Grace.
I'm throwing a random name.
You're saying something, yeah. I don't know. It sounds right. She looks like a Grace.
It's probably not it.
Anyway, Lexi's sister, though, I like seeing her and her interaction with Chucky.
Yeah.
So I'm happy we got more about this episode.
We get very, very limited stuff going on. Now, one thing I feel like we would have forgot to mention here is the love interest of Jake has been recording their conversation.
Yes.
So he has him under suspicion. I mean, he is the mystery guy in the school. He has a mystery podcast. I think he, suspects Jake.
I kind of also got the sense that he does suspect him, but I kind of feel like he's recording him.
Crushing on him?
He is crushing on him, but I thought he was recording him because if Jake gets caught, then it's like he has this like firsthand audio recordings and evidence to use on his podcast. You know, like I don't know. That's
fucked up.
Yeah, but that's kind of what
I'm just gonna record stuff
thinking.
Between us, just in case you're a killer.
Yeah, and
I can sell it later.
That was just the impression.
Yeah,
I got, and
that'd be really kind of fucked. That's where your brain goes, huh? That's what you're thinking. Wow. So, watch out for you. You recording our conversation? I mean, we are recording my conversation. Oh no,
that's not me. That's you.
Who pressed record this time?
Not me. Did you press record?
So yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. We have very limited screen time with him. He's dancing and raving at the party, and he has that little interaction with his mom, and that's mostly it from him in this. But I think the main focus here is that Jake was pretty committed to killing her. Now, that being said, I think we're done with that. I don't think we're going to see that anymore. And I'm pretty firm on that because when Jake hears those sirens and he's at his grave, he fucking freaks out.
Yes.
And he is not okay with it. He thinks that he's done something terrible. I can just tell we're done with that.
Yeah.
So Jake had his moment and he blew it.
Yeah.
You know? We're not going to get that. I highly doubt that we're going to get Jake killing anyone at this point. So now, Grace or whoever, whatever her name is.
She's definitely still.
She's very susceptible.
Yes.
To becoming a killer.
I mean, she's autistic, right? Is kind of what we were talking about. Like she has some.
She was talking about that. No,
okay.
I didn't label.
I think she's autistic based on how she was acting.
She's Rembrandt.
Yeah, she's a savant. But I think that I don't know. I feel like. I lost my train of thought, to be honest. I don't know where I was going with that. With the savant thing. Oh, yes.
That she was going to be the killer?
So Chucky straight up says to her that he's going to go kill her sister, and she kind of has, like, no reaction to it.
Yeah, I'm sleepy. I don't know if she takes him seriously. I think she's just a kid, like, yeah, whatever. But I could see that. I mean, it's just kind of like, yawn. Like, she's like, that's amateur shit. Let me know when you're going to do something really hardcore. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
And we also get some more of a backstory of Chucky. He murdered his mom in cold blood as she was trying to hide him. Now, I caught 2 Halloween homages here. I said I had caught 2 in the previous episode from Halloween 2. This one had 2 here. Obviously, Don't Fear the Reaper, sung by Lexi to her sister. And then them hiding in the closet, and one of those closets was with the blinds on them or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Blinds? Yeah. With the little
shutters.
Oh, shutters.
Shutters. That's what they are. Which is very similar closet, obviously, the one Lori hides in. Those are definitely both on purpose. There can't be this many coincidences at this point for the Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
So for sure that's going on here. But yeah, I mean, he kills his mom in cold blood, and it would be a pretty brilliant strategy that the mom and him came up with. She's like,
pretend to kill me.
Yeah, just try to. Well, don't pretend.
Well,
you got to kill me. He's gonna try to cut my body up. When we're done, you don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean. Pretend works too, I guess.
She's really alive.
Yeah, she should want. Yeah, she probably should have went there first.
Yeah, I don't think it was a strategy. I think he did.
No, 100% it wasn't. I'm saying when I was watching, I was like, that would have been a pretty smart strategy. I mean, even if he wasn't into it, he's just like, me or you, mom, or well, both of us or just you. You know.
So it's you.
No, he's into it, obviously.
Yes.
I mean, he becomes who he becomes. I did find it very bizarre that Charles Lee Ray's grave does not have a birth date on it.
Yeah.
I found that very odd.
That's his death date, but not his birth date. I don't know why.
Yeah, because they specifically show, you know, Jake's parents' graves in this episode, and they both have birth and death dates.
Yes.
And another thing I
Jake's
noticed
dad.
is that Jake's dad died in the show, you know, within the show on October 19th, 2021. The second episode aired on October 19th, 2021. And I was like, damn, if you guys would have just put October 12th, 2021, it would have matched up with the exact date of the fucking airing of the episode. So to me, I was kind of a little bummed that when I saw that, I was like, oh, wait. And I checked my phone immediately. Like, wait, is that the episode? Is that the... And I was like, no, that would have been the second episode. Damn, if you would have died there. So that would have been the maid's grave.
Would be the 19th.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Right? And then, like, she's, like, kind of next to him. And he's on the 12th and she's on the 19th. Although it wouldn't have matched up because I think it was, like, the next day in the show.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Day or two.
Yeah.
So, it wouldn't have worked, but I would have liked his to say the 12th.
Me too.
Just because, you know, maybe they intended to air it on the 19th originally. You know? You could have CGI'd that shit in 2 seconds. Just change it to the date. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you can bleep Chucky's cunt out. Not that Chucky had a cunt and they bleeped it out.
That's what that sounded like.
That would have been funny. But yeah. What else? Whoa, my God. When Lexi comes to apologize...
I'm rolling my eyes the whole time and just scoffing. Her apology was... I mean, she's somebody that never apologizes.
You know what's funny about that, though, is, like, you can tell that was, like, the hardest thing she's ever done in her life.
Yeah.
And that she genuinely, like, expected something in return.
Yes.
Like, do you have any idea how awful that was for me?
Yes.
She is the epitome, the very definition of entitled.
Yes.
Like, it's just like, I just did something. I better get massive rewards. It's funny her reaction of, like, you know, okay, I want Chucky. And he's like, no. She's like, what? What do you mean no? I just gave it, like, did she think that she could just go there, do that, and then be like, I want blank? And whatever it is, he's going to be like, well, I mean, geez, Lexi, oh my God, I know how tough that was for you. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here's my right arm. Like, what is it that, like...
No, I mean, yeah, like you said, she's just really entitled, and I think she's not used to, like, if somebody tells her to do something that she doesn't want to do, she's, I think, used to getting rewarded for it, like, by her parents. So
could you imagine if you had a friend who came over and, like, apologized to you, and then, like, walked over to your shit and was just like, okay, I want that right there for apologizing to you. And then you're like, what? And they're like, what do you mean? Yeah, you're gonna give me that shit, right?
No way. I mean, yeah, it's insane that she expects it from him. It's so ridiculous. But that's another reason why we hate Lexi so much. Like, she's just awful.
Yeah.
Nobody would do that. But maybe somebody would.
And furthermore, I mean, we see in the first episode that Jake goes on eBay and these dolls sell for an outrageous amount of money.
Yes.
Right? So what is it, $1,500 I want to say it was, right?
Yeah, so she's asking.
She's asking for $1,500 from a kid who has no money. Mm-hmm. And obviously there's also the sentimental value, it's his doll, whatever. Yes. But it's also a very expensive, rare doll as well.
Yeah.
And she's like, I apologized. I just made fun of your dead dad. And I came over here and gave you the worst apology that I didn't mean at all.
And you're
give me everything you have.
Yeah.
She's
so horrible.
She's just awful. And then she's like clearly flirting super hard with Oliver in front of Junior.
Yeah.
And, you know, just... She has like this kind of Swedish moment where she's like, tucking her sister in and decides to sing to her, almost like she has a soul somewhere in there.
She's embarrassed though because
she's like, you can't tell anybody.
Yes, and that's. It kind of makes me sad because it's like she's got a nice voice.
Sure.
So it's like I don't know.
Right, you don't want her to be good at anything.
No, well,
you want her to be awful.
No, and not even that, but it's more like she has a nice voice, but maybe like her parents aren't encouraging her the same way that they're encouraging her sister.
Sure, and we talked about that in the last episode. It's like you've never been as good at any. She's better at this than anything you've ever been in your entire life.
Yeah,
definitely. There's some. I mean, we see the entitlement from the parents.
Absolutely.
Like they get up and they're like, "We're not going to have to sit here and listen to this shit." And it's like, here's the proof that your daughter is a beep. You know.
And they're just like, they don't even, I don't know. That whole thing was so awkward because it's like they're, the principal, I guess. I don't know who the other woman in the classroom is. I've been the science teacher.
Can only assume.
It's like go home and talk to your kids and straighten it out. But gosh, like, I don't know. They suck. They really suck.
Yeah.
And they raised a horrible human.
Yes. And Lexi is unfortunately one of those kids that I just feel like is never going to recover from being as awful as she is. Mm-hmm. Now, it's possible. So that's why it's like, you know, death is always extreme.
Sure.
You know, unless somebody's done something completely unforgivable. Like, being mean isn't a death sentence, right? Yeah. Making fun of somebody's dead dad or talking shit to people, that's not a death sentence kind of thing. But in a show like this, it's a death sentence kind of thing.
Yes.
And we definitely want to see Lexi die. Yes. And maybe we already did, but as you said, I can't imagine that's what happened here.
She's too big of a character for her to die.
Yeah.
Not on screen. Oliver got time getting stabbed. Like, Lexi's gonna get time.
There's gonna have to be enough news. Okay, actually, I have a prediction here. Lexi starts talking about how Chucky did it. Okay, so she's not in a coma or hospital. More like what you said. Lexi's going around. She's telling her story. This story makes it into the news. That's how Andy, that's how Kyle, and that's how everyone starts to track her down. You know?
That's a cool prediction, actually, yeah.
That would make sense to me.
Yeah.
Now Chucky's kind of revealed to a degree, and she's going to be like, it's a good guy's doll. It's a guy named Chucky. It's a doll named Chucky or something. And that's going to tip off Andy and Kyle, who are going to show up.
Yeah, that would be cool to bring them in. Teen blames house
They're
fire.
definitely coming into the season. I'm just trying to figure out how they're coming in.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, actually. And that would be really cool to see. Good prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. It could be from that kid's podcast. Right? I mean, he's the news.
Of that town.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe, they find out about it that way. But, we'll see. Anything else?
No. It was a great episode. You should watch it if you're not already watching it.
Yeah, it makes me very happy.
Yes.
I said that 5 minutes in to this episode. Just seeing Chucky on TV like this in a more long format is very exciting as a longtime Chucky fan, you know, having seen the original in '88 and following and seeing everyone since, you know, right when they came out. It's been a pleasure. I mean, it really has. I mean, outside of that abomination that the remake is. And I know there's people who love it, and that's fine. It's just not for me. But everything else, man, it's just been such a fun ride. And I'm so glad that we get at least 7 more episodes. I don't know if this is even being planned to be a second season. I mean, maybe, but as long as Don's been doing this, I don't see him stopping anytime soon. I would love for this to lead to a feature, right? Like a made for Sci-Fi USA feature film that kind of caps off the end of this show. Yeah. Whether that's in 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 5 seasons, whatever. I'd love to see a final Chucky here at the end of this. Or multiple films, you know? But with these characters, More is better when it's good.
Yes. Well, and so far this is really good.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan. Chucky is always funny.
Yes.
And so, anyways, what did you think of the episode? What do you think is going to happen next? Are any of our predictions lining up with yours? Do you think we're full of shit? We called Oliver.
We did.
Oh, who's the next to die? We said one episode. So who's the next to go?
Maybe one of the parents?
Well, we got like a big character in the first.
Yeah.
We got kind of a random in the second.
Yeah.
A minor character in the third. You know, like a secondary character. The maid was like a third-dairy character.
Third-dairy, yeah. I don't know.
So I could see. I don't feel like a major. I could see something like his teacher.
I thought that too for a second as well.
Yeah.
But I was
or
trying to see how.
one of Lexi's parents.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of her parents, or maybe the teacher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my guesses.
Yeah.
Too.
I could see. Yeah, I could see like the next episode being a little more like Halloween 2. Where Alexi's in the hospital, Chucky's coming after her, kills some nurses, the doctor, you know, shocks him to death. His name is Chucky and he's coming to kill me.
That would be great if she says that.
All right, guys. Bye.